A reading from the Gospel of John, chapter 16, verses 7 to 11. But in fact, it is best for you that I go away, because if I don't, the advocate won't come. If I do go away, then I will send him to you. And when he comes, he will convict the world of its sin, and of God's righteousness, and of the coming judgment. The world's sin is that it refuses to believe in me. Righteousness is available because I go to the Father, and you will see me no more. Judgment will come because the ruler of this world has already been judged. The word of the Lord.
Hi, my name is Tarisai Gonyora. I'm a parishioner at the Bryanston Catholic Church. I'm also in the group of proclaimers, but today I'm going to share with you my life-changing encounter with the Holy Spirit. I was very close with my dad. He was a pillar of strength, the peacemaker, the family unifier. He encouraged me to strive for excellence, comforted me when I felt my entire world was falling apart, and he stepped in like a bulldog whenever I felt I couldn't handle a problem. My dad suffered a heart attack and died within 15 minutes as we were racing him to the hospital. I was in denial and I was angry. I felt so cheated. How could he die so suddenly and during the festive season too? I had 1 year left to complete my undergraduate degree and had outstanding fees for that year, which my dad had said he would pay the following week. One final business trip, one more deal to close, and it all would have been settled. I felt as if God had truly abandoned me. For once, I understood what people meant when they said, "Ndakashayirwa mari yechikoro," which means there wasn't enough money for me to finish school. I had only been to my dad's village once for about 3 hours. All I remembered was that it was far and not easily accessible. I wanted him buried in Harare, where I'd be able to visit his grave, pour out my heart and put flowers on it every now and again. I lost the vote, not that I had much of a say culturally, when my mom, who had barely said much and wept more than I will never forget, spoke up and said that Dad had always wanted to be buried in the village, and so we honored his wish. After his burial, I was reminded of a cultural practice I had heard of once, many years prior, the appointing of Sarapavana. It's a difficult term to translate, but generally refers to the person who will oversee the well-being of the deceased children. A cousin of mine had died shortly after childbirth when I was about 10 years old. She had a heart condition and had been told her heart wasn't strong enough for normal delivery. I remember my sisters and family cousins and female cousins being gathered after her burial and being asked who would be Sarapavana for my niece. I was the youngest and all the others politely declined appointment. I simply wanted to go back and play and really didn't understand what the fuss was all about. So in the interest of that meeting ending, I volunteered for the position of Sarapavana. My now late sister, who was only 4 years older than me, also volunteered for co-appointment, and so we were jointly appointed. I loved my niece and especially loved feeding her Cerelac, which is a cereal loved in Zimbabwe, so I could also indulge in it. Other than that, I did absolutely nothing as Sarapavana. I've seen my niece less than 10 times since my cousin's passing. Shameful, very shameful, I know. Having been the uninvolved Sarapavana I wasn't bothered who would be appointed Sarapavana for my siblings and I after Dad's passing. The deliberations didn't last long, and the family appointed a complete unknown to us, an uncle who lived in the village and whom I had only met during my dad's funeral. He came to talk to my mom as we were planning to go back home after a week in the village. It felt like an eternity. I had even forgotten that he was the Sarapavana. He then said he would come and visit us at home soon to help my mom sort out school fees and other back-to-school essentials. But in the same breath, he asked my mom for a bar of soap and some sugar if we had any left. I remember rolling my eyes and seeing a potential challenge ahead. He would visit and never leave, thereby increasing mom's financial burden. Best case scenario, he would be the Sarapavana that my late sister and I were to our niece. We went back home and the reality of financial exclusion from varsity began to sink in for me. I was still angry at God for having taken my dad away, but knew that he was the only one who would perform a miracle to get me back into varsity and to complete my undergraduate degree. I prayed, but not half as much as my mother and my elder sister did. I received scholarships that I had been rejected for in the past. I also got a bursary. My sisters and their husbands chipped in too, and the debt which seemed impossible to pay was settled. I went back to varsity and more miracles happened. Scholarships, a bursary, and a donation from a well-wisher. Our Sarapavana, of course, was nowhere to be seen through it all. I don't even remember his name. I can't tell him from a bar of soap. And right now, I'm not sure if he's alive and well, to be honest. When I look back now, I realize that God gave me a Sarapavana who has been with me through thick and thin, the Holy Spirit. The peace that I eventually had surpassed human understanding. The Holy Spirit stopped being an it and became very real in my life. I thank God for the gift of the Spirit. And as John chapter 14, verse 16 to 17 says, "And I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to help you and be with you forever, the Spirit of truth. He lives with you and will be in you." I wish you all a blessed feast of Pentecost.
In moments like these